Hey everybody, this is Marsilio, and thanks for your interest in my take on the markets, where I combine technicals and timing for the win. It's going to be a pretty quick video, got a lot going on. Usual format, review charts, next move, and I'm going to throw in some charts of some data edges. So here we go. Last week I was pulling for a bullish scenario. Everything, all the technicals were bullish. I thought timing looked bullish, and that played out. So that was very and a profitable week if you're on the right side of the trades. And all the levels that I was kind of watching and pulling for clear on the indexes cleared. In terms of day by day, I had a pretty good read on a lot of the intraday action. It's in the article and the notes or articles that I'm posting each day before the open. That's the current schedule. May not last forever that way, but did pretty well. I'm not going to review each one. That said, what I did not really emphasize is the parabolic move in some of the commodities, notably ones that I'm not really following too closely, like silver is just launching. That's the monthly bar. Here's a weekly bar. So this is just skyrocketing. There are some others too, like copper. And I was on top of the gold and the gold miners, though, to my credit. And you know, those have done well from March when I first early March when I first mentioned. So a few charts, quick run through. Here's S&P. That's the lever I wanted to clear. It did, so that looks totally fine. Looked like it can go much higher. Nasdaq, same. I think we should go up to this area, 18, almost 900. Dow, still, you know, as long as Dow holds this level, the 39,835, there's no bearish scenario. Because that's turning into support, former resistance turning into support. Very bullish look so far. And Russell hasn't made a new high yet. I'd really like to see Russell getting gear and hold that low on Friday and start to move up and make a new high for the year. That would really confirm a more bullish scenario. And if institutional investors are thinking that inflation is moderating, I think they're going to buy tech and small caps. All eyes will be on semiconductors and NVIDIA earnings. This is a little tricky one because, you know, I think, look, this has been the leading stock and the leading sector for, you know, a year and a half. And right at this point, probably the bullish news could be, it's going to be such a massive blowout that it just skyrockets higher. And NVIDIA, pull up that chart in a second, you know, gets above 980. I think we could test this area 985 and watch the reaction from there. And then if above that, then it's, you know, 1,000 plus blue sky. But at the same time, what we've seen so far in earnings is, you know, when everyone's expecting bad news, stock pops. When everyone's expecting good news, stock drops. But when maybe we have a lift and then some profit taking or something like this, I don't really have a clear, you know, read on NVIDIA. And Astro Crypto Domus and I are working on a method where we can really nail these earnings calls, but it's quite tricky. Numbers relative to expectations and then guidance. You know, it's very tricky, similar to the economic data. So a few other charts. VIX, you know, VIX is decided. Look at VIX coming down really hard. No buying at this monthly level. So this looks, VIX could go significantly lower down to 10 or 11 area. There is one ETF chart that I'm keeping an eye on. It's like, and actually I'll get to some futures charts. So this is interesting. This is one of the short-term ETF variations. SVXY actually does pretty well. That's at its yearly R1s. I will be watching that. And then even though the indexes and the ETFs are all looking good, just due to discrepancy in pricing, the futures are up against their levels. So that's what we'll be watching the current week, and any index trader can keep an eye on these as well. This is ES testing half year R1. That's especially, again, if you're interested in that particular pivot level, please reach out. It's a custom on TradingView, and they were annoying about letting me share it publicly. So, but I'm happy to share it privately. That's 53.31. NASDAQ also on the futures is up against level side. Rather see that clear. Russell's doing fine, but ran into monthly resistance there on the futures RTY. And then here's the YM futures again, right up against its yearly R140, 179. So it just kind of a peculiar, pesky part of this tech. It does really work well, but I do think that cash index, ETF, and futures are all kind of in play. So right now, cash and index and ETF are good. Futures against levels. And then the other technical thing that I want to point out is a lot of the daily charts have RSI up there. Now, that doesn't mean it will stop, but 4-hour chart RSI overbought, daily chart RSI, we're probably going to see a little bit of selling. So how much that is and how quickly that scoops up, I think it might be somewhat of a mixed week as we maybe good for swing trading or more of a consolidation. I'm not expecting huge fireworks this week, but if inflation is moderating, institutions really believe that, they're going to buy tech, they're going to buy small caps especially, and maybe some of those over hot commodity trades cool off. It's kind of my preferred scenario. Although, copper, yeah, I'm not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm calling a top in silver and copper. It's just this is a preferred scenario for the week. New highs are looking healthy and expanding, rapid pace. Back when just a couple weeks ago, I said based on several things, timing, technicals, timing, sentiment, market could be near a major low, and that's exactly how it played out. Very quick move back to the highs, no really selling pressure at all. And now the crowd is getting excited again. So that part of that assessment was based on people getting too afraid too quickly. And when this came back inside the band as like a stock sentiment buy signal in my work, it was the end of April. And now we're getting back towards the low end, but not really. There's room to go lower. So we'll be watching that as well. So on to cryptos that everybody wants to know about. Whoops, not there. So I'd like cryptos to join the Russell in showing some strength this week. And Bitcoin is still doing okay. Remember, it's liking Mondays and Wednesdays, so we want to see a pickup for tomorrow. I'm not that worried about today's fade. Ethereum in particular and other alts, if we're going to see strength, it should really start to improve. That said, the technicals on Ethereum are just not that great right now, sharply falling 50 MA on daily, below monthly pivot, below quarterly pivot. It's just there's so many other things that I've been looking at to get in that are really leading. Sol, I mentioned that last week, is one of the better opportunities, risk reward above its second. So it was, above monthly, above quarterly. So to me, I don't really have to debate which one, Ethereum or Sol. I'm just going to buy Sol because it's technically leading and I have a good risk reward level. Even if that broke a little bit, there's still some support area near 155. So I think that's a good enough rundown on the charts. You have my sense of the next preferred move: tech, small caps, cryptos. I'd really like to see them all get in gear. And it's certainly possible, given the parabolic nature in commodities, that those cool off. I kind of would like to see that. And then in terms of some data edges and some interesting studies that's backing my views on this. So here's a few charts. I'm going to try and avoid the astro lingo for anyone who's curious in my work, but I'll keep it to a minimum. This section will get into some astro lingo. This is simple chart of sun through the signs. For S&P, you can see sun did very well in Taurus, green, and that's ending this week. So we're going to change over to the next sign. And the data on that is actually quite positive in bull markets. Historically, I'm going back to 1980 bull markets only, which means above the daily 200 moving average. And we're going to this sign. So one of the two best signs from 1980 in terms of average daily percent return. And it is this movement that some of my comments have been based on, this movement from here to here in terms of what I'd like to see going forward in terms of a market emphasis. Some smaller edges in play as well. This is a portion of the zodiac. Whoops, one of my specialties, and this is going to be in play towards the end of the week. So that should help things. And then lastly, based on data, well, I'm gonna, let's see. The other thing I'm gonna do is show that data for sun sign for crypto, since everybody's interested in that. So this is bull markets only, Bitcoin 2015 to current, and we're going to this one. So pretty good price history, and cryptos really do like the air signs almost most of all. This is one air sign. That's another in terms of sun being in air signs, at least in bull markets for the data. So sun going into an air sign should be helpful. And then lastly, some moon cycle data, both on ES and cryptos. We're going to get the strongest, or we're going to strong signs activated. So this ES, we're going to have this one in play for a few days. So that's looking good. It's been quite strong in this phase of the bull market from 2022 to current. And then just after the end of the week, you know, like I said, daily RSI high, 4-hour chart RSI, you know, maybe we have some up, down, so like more of a swing trading consolidation. I'm really not sure, especially where that NVIDIA will come in. But I really like the small caps idea, tech in general, maybe some, that's to other things that haven't rallied to kind of pick up. And hopefully NVIDIA, even if there's some profit taking, hopefully that lifts the space overall in semiconductors with the influence of AI and the future of AI just being completely undeniable. That said, you know, that is the move that I think everyone's expecting. It's not going to surprise the market at this point. So, but what I'd like to see, even if there's profit taking on NVIDIA, perhaps there's other semiconductors that are bought. Whoops. Lastly, I've got one, the moon equivalent for Bitcoin. The strongest sign will be in play towards the end of the week. This is based on current phase of the bull market, November 22 to current. And so I think that'll help cryptos as well. So thanks very much for your interest. I hope this is helpful, interesting data backing up my market views. And I've got a special event that I'm going to be announcing very soon, and a new website, which I absolutely love. So a lot of things are happening here. Stay tuned. And thanks again. Going for technicals and timing for the win.